the digital passport regulation. Have you heard about this at all?
So more people are going to be now paying more for these products to get information that was already kind of readily available.
45% rely on businesses to make sustainable options the standard, and 58% say brand trust improves when supply chains are transparent.
Vigilante furniture seller. Put the ingredients on however you want, and you can put a YouTube video in the middle.
Like, as long as it has a QR code, we don't care.
The Helpful Gardeners, the podcast that digs into the buzziest plant trends and news you need to know, regardless of your growing zone. Colin is a skilled horticulturist with decades of growing experience across Canada. Brandi is the greenest of green thumbs with a love of asking questions. Welcome to our garden nook.
Colin, you framed my Springo. Look at this.
You were trying to do it and it didn't fit, so I took some time and...
I remember last week I left it on the floor, just completely dismantled.
In pieces. It was deconstructed Springo.
It really was. So how are you doing with Springo?
I mean, if I had like 8 more sections of ladybirds, I'd be killing it.
I know.
Seeing so many ladybirds. Trips to Golden Acre, killing that.
Okay. So it's basically the same as on Friday.
Basically.
That's okay. You know, we have a whole season to experience spring. How are you doing on the whole Springo thing, dear listener? I would really like to know. I'm going to pop this back on the wall.
Good luck with that. What? It's a tiny nail and a tiny... Oh, wow, you did that.
I think it's the angle. It's the angle.
Took me an embarrassing long time to put that up, and I was standing. I'm just going to shut up now.
Oh, my goodness. I'm basically in the same boat as you. I know it's kind of felt a lot more spring-like in Calgary lately. And so I feel like, you know, by next week when we do a check-in, it should be well on its way.
That's the best part. Like, you know, I've never really played bingo. I know how it works, but you don't go to bingo and they call out 5 numbers immediately. No. You build.
Yeah, you build on it.
And you're like, I've almost got that one, not that one. Same thing where, you know, and I think it'll be one of those that's a slow burn. And then in 1 week, it'll like, you'll come back after a week and you'll be like, I saw a golfer and a street sweeper and a dandelion. I saw a golfer get out of his street sweeper to hit a dandelion. I just feel like there's going to be a lot happening.
And then he planted the seed from it.
Whoa! And made microgreens.
There you go. Oh my gosh, full circle.
All tying in.
Love it. Well, I was on the interwebs this week and something caught my eye.
Okay.
Not quite spring related, but something that will be happening later this summer. The UK is putting out the digital passport regulation. Have you heard about this at all?
Is it just the UK or is it being adopted by the European Union too?
I think it's the European Union, yeah.
Okay.
So that will be very interesting to see. So if you, you're right, the European Union. I keep forgetting the UK is not involved in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, not getting into that. This is a gardening show.
Yeah, and I could go off on that one, but
I can imagine you would.
Let's just go back to the digital passport.
Okay, so if you haven't heard about this yet, it's essentially this movement that's going to be impacting many industries. And essentially, your products that you buy will have sort of a historical like check on it. So whenever you buy like a piece of clothing, or for us gardeners, that's going to be plastics like pots, fertilizer bags, garden tools, anything like that sold in Europe, they're going to have like a little QR code. You scan it and you can actually see the sort of footsteps that it's taken to get to that point. It's kind of cool, isn't it? What do you think about it?
You're empowering the consumer. Mm-hmm. Okay. We know for a fact there's certain people out there, and you know, everybody has their own lane, but people don't care of country of origin. They don't care if it's organic or inorganic. They know what they like.
Yeah.
Cool. There's other people that want to make a decision based on whatever criteria they have. It has to be organic or it has to be Canadian. They don't care about organic, and they've got their and then people have got 10 things on their checklist, whatever. So it's a full spectrum. But then the flip side of that I go to is how much more waste does that produce? Is it going to be an even playing field? And what I mean by that is obviously there is going to be a cost associated with it. are small businesses and local companies going to be able to absorb that cost as much as the megacorps?
Mm-hmm.
Who's responsible for the data?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that fact checked? How is that gone down? Because you think about Europe, think about how many countries, think about how many companies in every one of those countries that can trade freely. How do you track that? So
it's a big job.
Yeah, I see a benefit. I also have concerns.
Yeah, that's very valid. Great view of both sides. I have some stats here that might be interesting. This was from a study done in 2024 about sustainable consumers. 41% of consumers consider environmental impact before purchasing.
Okay.
45% rely on businesses to make sustainable options the standard. And 58% say brand trust improves when supply chains are transparent. So talking from the consumer standpoint, yeah, it seems like a lot of people do take that sort of supply chain into account. So
that's like an average. Let's just call that across the board around 50%.
Yeah, around 50%.
And I think that's fair because you have to think that's 50% who are trying to make an informed decision. Mm-hmm. The other 50 don't care.
Yeah.
Right? The other 50% don't care if it's on there or not.
Right? Like I thought that most consumers were just like chasing the money. They were like, whatever is the cheapest option, which is why you have like, big box stores carrying plants and stuff like that. It's like, it's a cheap option.
That whole mentality of good, better, best.
Exactly. I didn't think that people were still very, I want to make a good decision and care about the back end.
I mean, it might be both, right? If you, there are things I look at that I would love to do for environmental impact, but they're somewhat unaffordable. Now we believe in a few years they'll come down in price, whatever. But if I have all of the information, it allows me. So maybe I look and so when you see a product that says OMRI listed 100% organic, that product has to be 100% organic.
Oh, great point.
Organic based simply has to mean 7% of it is organic. Mm-hmm. So I find organic based is kind of a duplicitous term. Mm-hmm. It's putting organic in there and it's like, is it good? Is it like, what are you? So this could kind of be like an eye opener for some people and some people that are like, I've been buying this and it isn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But it's also going to allow you, if you look at something and go, man, I really want this. It seems a bit more expensive and you check it and you find out it's sustainable and environmentally friendly and they've even planned through to like end of life product. This product was made from recyclables and can be recycled. Mm-hmm. Maybe that will justify spending the extra €3. Mm-hmm. So. But
maybe like you were mentioning, it's what if they find a way around it and then they made in China, but designed in Canada.
Yep.
Maybe they make like sort of a SKU just to make it seem like it's this way.
Yep.
There's that to think about too. I know some of the things that the digital product passport are likely to include would be the basic product information. So you'd be able to see the name, the model, batch number, which would help for recalls and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Warranty details, what the material is that it's made out of, ownership information. So if it's a long-lasting product that may be transferred, sold, or resold, repair details, as you were mentioning. So like end of life thing, like where do you recycle it?
Okay.
What happens if you need this to be repaired? And sustainability data, which is interesting, a carbon footprint, energy use, and emissions across production and use phases. That's kind of interesting. I didn't think about that. But then I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So say every item that you see will have this QR code. Can you imagine standing in an aisle and just scanning every single?
But I think so. As somebody who has a selective diet, let's say, yeah, that's what it's like at first. But then you learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first went shopping, and
for anyone who doesn't know, he's saying he's vegan.
Yeah. When I first went shopping,
just in case you're new to the show,
yeah, I'd read the product on everything.
That took you forever, hey?
Yeah, certainly you didn't worry about apples, let's say. But once you get into like the candy aisle and some eye openers, soup. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's, I'm not going to call them out, but there's a brand of soup. It's tomato soup. And on the front, it has a green circle with a V in it.
Okay. It's probably vegetarian.
Yep.
Oh.
It's got milk products in it.
Oh, darn.
I didn't know that until the third time I bought it.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay, don't assume. And you're on a learning curve.
Yeah.
But I find that I think people would come in and they'd be like, oh my God. And they'd scan and they'd look and then they'd be like, oh, I've made my choice and I'm sticking to it. Mm-hmm. So I think it might mean less flex. Maybe people aren't going to want to change. They're like, I'm not going through that exercise again.
Right.
I am also, now that you bring up this point and it got my brain thinking, do you ever look at something, and for our industry, it's fertilizers, but there's a number of things out there. And we know for a fact, fertilizers are one of the most daunting, confusing things for the rookie.
Yeah.
So they're coming up now and they go, oh my God, there is a wall of fertilizer. There's like 480 linear feet of different fertilizers to choose from. And now I got to scan QR codes to learn about the company.
Yeah, I'm already overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel that in certain things, it could be too much info. And maybe some countries are different. I don't know how it is in Europe for these regulations. But I know in Canada, you can get in a lot of trouble, have your product pulled, get fines. Like it can bankrupt you if you make a claim on your product that isn't true.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, there's truth in advertising for sure.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like, people, I think it was like 48% of the people there that said they trust the businesses. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're in a country that has that reputation, like, we have debated products. Is that earth friendly or not?
Yeah.
And where do you go, well, the product is earth friendly, but is the container?
Oh
and where do you draw the line?
And that's exactly it. It's like, there's going to be all these layers.
Yep.
And so, you're going through, it's like Brad, when he's trying to find if something's gluten-free and he sees soy sauce, but soy sauce has gluten, but then he's like all these layers. He has to find out what's in the soy sauce. Is this a gluten-free soy sauce? And it's just like, gardening's supposed to be really fun, right? And it's amazing that people want to make these really earth-friendly decisions. It's awesome. I think that you're right. The beginning is going to be a little bit difficult. Yeah. I think until we can learn. And I mean, there's new products coming out all the time too. So I think every season you're going to have to kind of learn if you want to make those intentional choices.
Yep. If you want to make an informed decision, you will educate yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay. I did. I love my favorite product, even though it doesn't always look like it. I do put stuff in my hair, is Moroccan oil. Mm-hmm. I love Moroccan oil because it smells so damn good. But the other thing, they are third-party sustainable and cruelty-free.
Exactly.
So I did that research and there are websites that have these listings and you can read about them. And I went, oh, okay. So
you were like, I use this product. Is it actually good?
Yeah, because there was another product I used. And I Googled it, and they have one of the worst records for animal cruelty and animal testing.
Oh, okay. So you were like, okay.
Yep.
Not going to use that one.
But that's where I've drawn my line.
Yeah.
So I do find that, because it to me, it's like, if somebody wants to make the decision, all of the info is out there. Mm-hmm. We are living in the information age.
Yeah.
So you're forcing these companies to jump through hoops, pay more, put it out. Let's be honest, a lot of companies, they're not going to absorb the cost. They're going to pass it on to the consumer. So more people are going to be now paying more for these products to get information that was already kind of readily available.
Yeah.
And 50% of them don't give a damn anyway.
But what about this aspect? What if that could help justify higher prices for those companies that are going the extra mile for the environmental side? So, for example, like if you had the furniture that we have downstairs, the Ipe wood, the really good quality stuff. I love the Ipe furniture. It has naturally a higher price tag than the other furniture. And so whenever there's customers milling around and they're like, oh, why is this table so much more expensive than this table? I can't help myself. I have to actually say, did you know it's made of Ipe? And I go into this whole thing about like the backstory, why it's so good, why it's really good for Alberta. And
vigilante furniture seller.
I'm just there doing social media. Like I'm not even there to sell furniture, but I love that the backstory of this Ipe wood furniture so much that I think that the story justifies the higher price tag. And I wonder if these digital passports can do the same thing. And also, what if like, instead of just only this information, you could put, say, a YouTube video on that QR link that's like, hey, here's our backstory about the company. Here's the backstory about here's who grows this vegetable. Here's who, does all of these things. I wonder if that would almost help justify the higher price.
There's so much out there where you see something and they're feel good terms, organic based, fair trade cocoa. And when you dig into it and you look at the story, it's not what you hope it is. And so who's doing this? Like, are the government coming in and are they regulating it? So you're like, we only use fair trade. And they go, no, you don't. You can't put that on anymore. Or is it the companies fill out the form, in which case, kind of what's the point? I can put that on my product.
It's interesting. I sort of, when I was looking up the back end of this and I was trying to find more information about the digital passport in general, I was expecting to find a website from the EU, and I did find that, but I found way more companies being like, we'll do your digital passports for you. We have the software. And I'm like, oh, so this isn't going to be like one database and it will look the same across all the industries. No, it's going to look a little different.
Okay, I don't like that, because I scan my phone and I go, I want to look at this phone, and it's like a company, environmental footprint. And I go, cool. And then I scan the mug and it's like YouTube video and paint. And I'm like, oh, come. Because you know how like the ingredient list, and Brad will have seen this, and I've definitely seen it. I think most people do. They have to, the ingredients, it's not a random list.
Yeah.
It's the highest percentage to the lowest percentage.
Yeah.
Okay. So it makes sense. You read it, you can be like, oh my God, the first ingredient is sugar. That's not my choice, right? First ingredient is caffeine. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
You make that choice. But if they're like, put the ingredients on however you want, and you can put a YouTube video in the middle.
Like, as long as it has a QR code, we don't care.
Yeah. Do you have a QR code? Did you pay the EU government some money? You're good.
Like, I kind of wish it was like Wimmis in a way, you know, like it would all look the same.
Standardized, organized.
There's training.
Yeah. And then that would also, I believe, lend it more credibility.
Totally. But I do also think that this digital, like, QR code also caters to a younger audience. Like, we're talking like older people.
Fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you were, say, a Gen Z, would you really be researching? I don't know. Would you have the time to be researching? I feel like Gen Z is just a hustle economy, right?
Yeah.
Like, do they have the time to be doing all this back end research? A QR code might help them.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know. And like any new technology, it's amazing potential, and the market will dictate. The market will dictate. So maybe a product actually start selling more because their digital passport is clean, succinct, no YouTube videos, just bam, bam, bam. And you're like, oh, I could read that. That was fantastic. Yeah. And then the ones that glam it up, you're like, come on, I just need the information. And then the market will dictate. Like, remember when cannabis got legalized? It seemed like everywhere you turned, there was another dispensary going up.
Totally.
And then the market, grow operations and dispensaries and people having all of these, and cannabis was the new gold. And then it calmed down and the market dictated how it would be. And now it's established. So kind of the same thing. I think a lot of companies are coming out. We can do digital passport. We'll do. Give it a couple of years, let the dust settle. And then we'll see where it's at. I'm on the side of no right now, but I do see a very good potential in it.
Well, it's happening whether you say no or not.
They didn't ask me.
But so they said happening for sure in the EU. The US is looking at it. And I'm not sure where Canada is going to fall in that. I think we're kind of like the wait and see people. Yep. We're like, I wonder what this is going to look like. And then we might make a decision later.
And I kind of think it's going to be based on your trade relations.
That's true. Yeah.
If the EU are like, you can't sell your product without a digital passport, and Canada wants to trade into the EU market.
Yeah,
there's going to be companies that do it.
Yeah, exactly. So very interesting. I guess these companies have until 2030 to fully put it into place. So we have some time to see how it is. I don't think you'll be seeing it too much in North America, not for the next few years. So nothing that you really have to worry about. But if you start seeing it, it's kind of interesting that you know a little bit more about it.
Send us some screenshots.
Exactly. I'm very curious what you think. Scan the QR code right here. No, I'm just kidding. Do we need more QR codes? Probably not. Yeah. But very curious what you think about this whole digital passport thing. Would that actually help you make a different decision information if you're standing in the garden aisle looking at fertilizer, and you can kind of see where the package it came into is from and all of the steps along the supply chain. I'm very curious. So drop a comment down below, and we'd love to hear from you. Oh, you know how we could totally put this on our Springo? We could put like QR codes on every block, and then every time you finish up one of the like spring things, then you scan the QR code and it shows you like all the people who have completed that same thing in Calgary. Is that like overcomplicating? Are we overcomplicating Springo now too? Why do we do this to ourselves?
I think that's rad. It just seems like a lot of work, but because
maybe that's how we get Gen Z to do bingo.
Yeah, it would be super easy to cheat. It would be. I have pictures of basically all of that. No,
you have to upload. Oh yeah, you're right.
I have photos of all of that in my library going back 10 years. There isn't one thing that I'm proud. Maybe I don't have a photo of a street sweeper. No. But I could guarantee fill a line or two with photos right now. Like you're like, you won Springo in February? Like, yep.
This podcast is brought to you by Golden Acre Home and Garden. Find seasonal inspiration for your home and garden in Calgary, Alberta year-round. Visit goldenacre.ca. The comments and opinions expressed by the Helpful Gardeners on this show are our own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Golden Acre Home and Garden. For more information on everything we covered today and to leave us a voice note, visit goldenacre.ca/podcast. The Helpful Gardeners are on Instagram at The Helpful Gardeners Pod. Keep on growing, gardeners!